welcome back to Life with Shaun. You clicked on the thumbnail, clicked on the video, so you already know what time it is. It's Music Review Friday. So today is not gonna be a reaction video. It is actually gonna be a video talking about Michael Jackson's Thriller 40 documentary. It's on Showtime. If you got Paramount Plus and you got Showtime, you can watch it. Anyways, that's what we're talking about today. So I'm gonna insert a clip to let y'all know that there is a spoiler alert. Alright. Hey y'all. So this video is gonna be a spoiler. So if you don't like spoilers, you might not want to watch this video. You might want to watch it, what I'm going to be reviewing, and then come back to the video and hear my commentary and thoughts about it. So I just wanted to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler if you haven't seen it. Alright, that's it. That's all. So, obviously, you've seen it. Let's get to talking about it. I'm going to give my commentary and let you all know some little things I learned in the documentary and just talk about this amazing, amazing album. And of course, we have to show that I got the vinyl, okay? I got the vinyl. Y'all see that? Y'all see Mike? Y'all see Mike? Let me. Yeah. That's Thriller, okay? Classic album. That's a classic, timeless album. This came out, if you didn't know, this album came out November 30th, 1982, okay? So, technically, it's not 40 years old. It will be 42 years old this year. Okay? 42 years old. This album is that old. Older than me. Way older than me. But anyways, this is a classic album. We're going to talk about each song and what I learned in the documentary and all of that. So, let's get started. Alright? Alright, so we're going to talk about the first song. Want to Be Starting Something. It started off strong. I love in the documentary how they talked about how each song was created, and you get a newfound respect for Michael Jackson and his artistry, right? We're not talking about Michael Jackson's life. We're just talking about his artistry and how the name of being the king of pop is, he will always reign, and that will be his title forever. Because the way he crafted each and every song and the way that that he put so much emotion in each and every track, you have to respect him and his craft and his gift. Because he truly had a gift. And you didn't know, Michael Jackson wrote plenty of these songs. Of course, he wrote Wanna Be Starting Something. And of course, there's, you know, the part Mama say, Mama song, whatever. I'm saying it wrong. That don't mean nothing. I learned that in a documentary that he just made that up. It sounds like it means something, but it don't mean nothing, y'all. But that was a great song. Michael wrote it, and I just want to show you his artwork because Michael drew that, yeah. And he drew this too. Hopefully, y'all can see it good. He was an artist too. I've seen some other drawings that he's done online, and he was truly an artist. But anyways, on to the next song. Everybody love on Wanna Be Starting Something. It's just a classic record. He wrote that. Then Baby Me Mine. Who wrote that? Rod Temperton. He wrote some good songs too. I didn't know that he wrote such great songs on this album. He wrote Thriller. He wrote this song, Baby Be Mine. What else he wrote on her? The Lady in My Life. Everybody love that song. That's a beautiful song. We're going to talk about that too. So those are some songs that he written. And look up some more songs that, you know, that he also written, because he was really talented as well. And then back to Wanna Be Starting Something. They had the background singers. They were in the documentary, and they was talking about their experience with recording the background with Michael Jackson, and how Michael felt like their voices blended so well with theirs. It was Julia Waters, Maxine Waters, and Oren Waters. So they were on there, and they was telling their experience working with Michael, and just how great of a person he was. And you could tell, like, watch, because they had a lot of like never before seen studio footage of him recording this album, and it just was so great to see him in his element, you know. And one thing about Michael Jackson, he's the king of layering and ad-libs in songs. And another person that I love that does a lot of layering and does great background vocals is Brandy. Like, she stacks them vocals, and I love that. Beyonce do it, Mariah Carey. One of my favorite songs by Mariah Carey is was it Breakdown? Yeah, Breakdown with Bone Thugs and Harmony. And I love that every time you listen to that song, you hear something new in the background. And basically Michael Jackson, that's how his music was. His voice was really, really, really an instrument. He used his voice to basically create more sounds in the song. So that's why it sounded so cool when it came together. It was just a masterpiece. This album is a masterpiece. But let's go on to the next song. Of course, Thriller. We got a lot to talk about Thriller because I learned a lot about the making of the video Thriller. They showed, like, when they were doing the prosthetics. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Doing the whole wolf makeup and stuff, and how he came up with the idea of the video, and he wanted to make it more theatrical, like a movie. And that was what was so cool about it. That's why it was so iconic, because nobody was doing that. They weren't giving videos where it felt like a movie, and that's basically what he gave, was a movie. So he set the bar so high for all future artists and artists at the time to, you know, achieve, because the label didn't want to put any money behind this video. Mind you, the video came out 2 years after this album. They were ready to move on to another album because they made so much money. This broke records. You know, this album sold over 100 million records to this day. But at the time, he had got the Guinness World Record. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyways, this album got the best-selling album of all time during that time. Anyway, back to the Thriller. So the record label didn't want to put any money behind the video, so Michael paid out of his pocket like $1.2 million for the Thriller video. So blame the label that didn't want to put no money behind the greatest video of all time, you know, the most classic video of all time. Michael had to pay out of his pocket. But he got the idea because he loved, what is that movie called? American Werewolf. What? I'm going to tell y'all. I've seen that movie too. It's a classic. I don't even know where my phone is, y'all. I'm about to tell y'all. American Werewolf. I think that's what it's called. Got sidetracked. But anyways, the director from that movie, he got them to do Thriller. So, anyways, Michael came up with all of this, and they actually sold Thriller on VHS, the movie, and, well, the video. It sold millions of millions of copies. So, the Thriller was an iconic record. But Michael, just going back to who Michael was as a person, he was always competing with himself. And most artists, that's what they do. They compete with themselves. They're not competing with each other. They're competing with themselves to be better, bigger and better. And that is exactly what he wanted. He didn't want one #1 hit. He wanted all of them to be #1 hits. And he had 7 off of this album. 7 #1 hits off of this album. So he had accomplished that with this one album. Michael became an icon because of this album. This album made him who he was. So let's talk about another song. Oh, The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. Who am I talking about? Paul McCartney. That song was more of a pop song, and it really solidified him as a pop icon too, doing that song with Paul McCartney. It was a great song too. Let's get into Beat It, okay? Everybody love Beat It. Come on now. The video was iconic, just like Thriller, and of course it came out before Thriller. It was just iconic. They talked about what performance was that? Like 1980 something. When was that performance? I want to say it was the Motown 25th reunion. Yeah, it was Motown 25th reunion. I believe. And that's when Michael actually showcased the moonwalk, okay? And everybody in the audience lost their mind. Everybody at home lost their mind when they saw that. Like, that showed that he was a superstar. Like, nobody had ever seen anything like that. They talked about how like, if you wasn't there, you wouldn't have experienced how great it was. Like, they said they was trying to, you know, calm everybody down, because everybody was just so, like, elated of what they just saw. Like, they couldn't believe what they saw. And I wouldn't want to be the person that go on after that, you know. And a lot of them said that in there. I wouldn't definitely want to be the person to go after that, because you ain't finna compare to what he just did. Yeah, so they talked about that. They talked about when he got burned from that let me talk about that situation, because I feel like if that did not happen, maybe his life would have been it would have been different, you know, when it comes to like the painkillers and all of that. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we get back into the album. But anyways, Joe Jackson wanted the Jackson 5s to go on tour, right? And then he ended up getting Don King. Y'all know who Don King is. Got Don King to be the manager. He brokered a deal so they could have a Pepsi, you know, deal with Pepsi or whatever. So they did the commercial. Michael said he ain't even like drinking Pepsi. So in the commercial, you know, Carlton from Fresh Prince, he was a little boy dancing. Anyway, in the commercial, in his contract, he stated that he only gonna be on screen for like 13 seconds. So if you go back and look at that, the clip of that, he was literally on there for like 2 seconds. And he didn't want to hold the Pepsi. And he did. Okay? So, back to that performance. Mind you, this is the freaking 80s. You know they got juicy Jerry curls. So, my thing is, why do you have fireworks on stage when people got juicy Jerry curls? That just calls for drama. Okay? That's how I feel. It calls for drama. It calls for something bad gonna happen. And that's exactly what happened. That's why Michael Herr caught on fire, because he got juicy Jerry curl juice in his hair. I never understood that. So we gonna blame Don King and Joe Jackson. Rest his soul. Lord have mercy on him. Anyways, it was their fault, because Michael would have never got burned or anything like that if he was on the tour doing Thriller, not doing the Pepsi commercials. That's why he got burned. And now we know the whole story. And after that, he was on painkillers because he was just in pain. Like, your scalp severely burned. So, yeah, that really changed what is the word? It really changed, like, the way of his career, the way of his life. I feel like just his life in general, because things would have probably went a different way for him if he never got burned. Career-wise, he was still going to be great, Michael Jackson. But that aspect of his life wouldn't have been. It would have been turned around. Anyways. So, learning that, I did not know that. And I'm glad they talked about that. But That's a lot of the stuff that I learned in the documentary for that. Oh, we gotta talk about Human Nature. Whew, child, that's one of my favorite songs off this album, besides PYT, Pretty Young Thing. But Human Nature is like such a beautiful song, like a classic record, and that was also a #1. It also talked about him doing a song Carousel for E.T. album that was on the E.T. soundtrack, and there was oh, we have to talk about this. I'm glad I started talking about it. Anyways, so he did that song for the E.T. soundtrack. There was a fight between the labels, RCA and what was it, Epic, or I forgot what label. I think it's Epic he was on. Yeah, Epic. I put this out. But anyways, there was a fight because Michael was their artist, and then RCA was doing the E.T. soundtrack. So it was a big fight. So they end up solving the issue, and Michael was able to get his masters out of it. So that was a win-win for Michael Jackson. Okay, so if you don't know how important your masters is, well, now you know. Like owning your masters is like essential. If you don't own your masters, they own you. It's like they own you as a person. So it's if you're an artist, own your property. Prince always talked about owning your property. Own your property, okay? Anything you do, own it. So nobody can own you. Message of the day. But anyways, so that's how he got his masters. And we kind of talked about pretty much all the records on this album. Of course, they talked about Quincy Jones, you know, being essential to help producing this album. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I love the documentary. It gave everything that I needed to get from this documentary. I learned a lot about the process of creating music, because me personally, I create my own music, and it just gave me a newfound respect for Michael Jackson. I always loved Michael Jackson, but it gave me a newfound respect for Michael Jackson. And he was just a great artist and a great person. As these people talk about him, more and more people talk about him as a person, he seemed like he was a great individual. He had a sweet spirit and soul. So rest in peace, Michael Jackson. You know, every time I think about Michael Jackson, and when he passed, going off a little tangent, it was just, that year was just hard for me anyways, because my mother passed 2 weeks before Michael Jackson. So it was just a crazy year anyway. But every time I think about that time, it just was just a lot. But we're celebrating Michael Jackson's his work and this gift that he left behind for us to listen to, you know. And he was just a talented artist, just a talented man. And I definitely respect Michael Jackson. I respect his artistry. And Michael Jackson is going to be known for many centuries. When we all gone, they going to be still talking about Michael Jackson. Yeah. You know, I'm telling you, because Michael Jackson still is the king. Alright? Michael Jackson still gonna be the king of music. 100 years from now, people gonna be talking about Michael Jackson. Alright? But anyways, the documentary was amazing. That's it. That's all I have to talk about in today's Music Review Friday with our featured artist, Michael Jackson. Thriller 40 documentary. Check it out on Showtime. If you got Paramount Plus and you got Showtime, you can watch it on there, because that's where I watched it. And yeah, go get the album. Go get the album. I got this. This was my first vinyl that I bought. Was this one, and I got it from Target for $19. So if you need the album, go to Target. I don't know if Walmart might have it too. Anywhere they sell vinyls, they got this. This what you need in your collection, okay? Get that. Get that. Get that. All right. Oh, one more thing. Oh, man. I just appreciate each and every one of y'all checking out my Music Review Fridays each and every Friday. This year in 2024, I have a lot more reaction type of videos that we gonna be putting out, so stay tuned for that. I have some good ones that I'm gonna be watching. A lot of Apollo performances is coming up that I'm gonna be watching. So if you do have some like artists that you want me to react to, if it's performances, music videos. Now with the music videos, they be copywriting, so I mean, I'll try to react to them, but you know, YouTube and whoever on the music, they be real funny, and it's like, okay. But anyways, if you have some suggestions, you already know what to do. Put them down in the comment section and I will react to it. I am going to do, like, if they're like longer than a certain amount of time, I'm going to do lives. And I don't know what days I'll do the lives. I'll let you all know. Check out my community tab, my community section. I do post on there, so if you didn't know. So if I do have a live, I'll let y'all know. I am gonna do another live, probably a Planet Groove. It's about an hour episode, so me watching that. So I'll let y'all know if I do a live soon for that, because I was thinking, I saw one for Erykah Badu that I might do a live for, and I think that'll be good. Alright, so go check out again Thriller 40 documentary. It was amazing. It was amazing. It's definitely a 10 out of 10. Oh, and if y'all didn't know, they are doing a biopic of Michael Jackson's life, and his nephew Jafar Jackson, which is Jermaine Jackson's son, will be playing him. So stay tuned for that. I did read that they are going to get back in production, I think, this year. So the movie probably come out next year. I don't know if it's gonna come out this year, but I'm excited to see it. They have a lot of they had Michael Jackson on Broadway. They also had a show in Vegas. They had a lot of different Michael Jackson shows or whatever. So just to let y'all know that a movie is coming, and we'll definitely be seeing it when it come out. Alright, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's music review video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, and year. Alright, bye.